Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. We are speaking with Jim Edwards about candidates of integrity and some of the process you had to go through sifting and sorting these candidates. Now, Jim, what kind of questions do you ask them to?
Well, we touched on a little bit last segment, but some of the things that on the page they have to sign off on is, are you willing to fight corruption? Are you willing to, are you going to be fiscally conservative? Are you willing to support the platform?
Okay.
Things like that. Tort reform.
What does corruption look, corruption, what is, do they ask you what you mean by corruption, any of them?
Well, it's kind of specific in there. It's not that generic. But,
okay.
But corruption, we were talking about leadership a little while ago, and there's leadership problems at the county level, too. And I'll just give you one idea. Way down in southern Illinois, the southeast tip, which is a huge geographical area for a state rep, there's no Republican running down there, and the Democrat is a union organizer. That's his regular job. And this covers 10 counties, wow. this particular state rep position. And so you cannot tell me that out of 10 county GOP chairs, they can't find one candidate to run against this guy. So I don't know what the dynamics are down there, but I have learned that when I go there, I don't recruit using the county GOPs. I recruit through Tea Parties because I know they want to find somebody in there. If the county guys did, they would, but they can't and they don't.
Do you think they're afraid, though, to lose and not want to invest some of the money or whatever, the infrastructure and the work that's required to win?
You know what? They can come up with any excuse in the world, but there is no excuse in my mind of not having a Republican run. In fact, the people out of Washington have told me, I don't care if you get a monkey on the ballot. You make the Democrat defend themselves and make them spend money because these guys attract money.
That's it. But you found a lot of good people who are good enough to, with our help and a little bit of focus and realizing that we can do some help, these people can start working and become attractive in their own areas. A lot of what we've been doing, Jim, is to tee up the ball for this coming election. The election's going to happen in November, and we've just finished our primary election a little while back. And in doing that, well, we had to get a bunch of people that were going to become a winning team. And sifting through all of that and finding people that were willing to do the work that it would take, we had to get them on the list. And we did a lot of funding from our own organization. And you're head of the Republican Renaissance PAC. And the Republican Renaissance PAC is a state PAC.
That's right.
And it's not like a bunch of rich guys from the boondocks that are contributing to politics. They're like people throwing snowballs from behind a fence. They aren't in the real fight. You are right in the whole political end of the thing in the Republican Renaissance PAC. It is a political PAC in the state of Illinois, and you're meeting the candidates face to face all around and sorting them out for their leadership and possibility qualities. And,
that's right.
And you can do that. That's what they can't do where there's all this separation of, you can only contribute so much money, but meanwhile you can't talk to the candidate. You're down there, we call it wrestling with the pigs of politics, because a lot of people feel politics is a little bit unsanitary, and so it is. But you're doing that work right out there, nose to nose with real people in a real situation in their own area. That's something there's been very little of done before. And you're separated from the people that are responsible for working on the legislature thing. We're independent. And we found enough money, I've put a lot behind it, and some other people have too, to go out, and I call it teeing up the ball for the game this year. Mm-hmm. We've gotten some damn good, clean candidates, and we put enough money in so that they could at least travel around with a card that they could leave at the doorway when they went around. And a lot of them, Tea Party people, they really wore out a lot of shoe leather, saw a lot of people. We helped them get through that whole Tea Party thing, and we have a lot of optimism about these people. We know them, and it's turned from the awful pessimism we had some months back. We think we got a real team of deserved fighters in this thing.
Well, we do, and and I appreciate you mentioning that, Jack. You have been a tremendous supporter of these great quality people, and they need a lot more help. So if there are any listeners out there that want to help these candidates, you can either get money through the PAC that could get to the candidates,
or you could
get it to the candidates
you could
themselves.
go to the Republican Renaissance PAC and see each of these individual candidates.
You can,
but
or
now,
you can call me, and if you want to discuss them, because we need to bundle checks to get to these people. They cannot compete with the money that the Democrats have from the unions and the trial lawyers, and we can't. They just don't have the money to compete with them.
I want to talk to you a little more about this Southern Illinois union leader that's running. Isn't Southern Illinois more conservative? Isn't Southern Illinois, I mean, Illinois used to be a completely red state.
We've given him a platform for his dirty work down there with the unions. These public unions, there never should be public unions like that working within the government and taking all this money out.